That's kind of a little jam there. You know, you be bobbing your head and stuff, trying to act like you know how to dance and whatnot. Welcome to Friday Night Fun Times, everybody. What we're going to do tonight is our monthly Get It Right Now advice show. So there's a process to this. This is what you do. Okay, so there we go. It's on the spot. Means you get the advice right here, right now. This is the process. You pay the $10 super chat or cash app fee, preferably cash app, to Debsterism. It's $ Debsterism. That's my handle on Cash App. If you submitted your question in advance, because there is a form now on the Debsterism.com website, if you submitted your question in advance and paid your fee in advance, then your letter will be read first. I have a few of those. Or if you are attending the broadcast and you decide, that you want to do it while you're here listening to other people's drama, then you add your name to the chat and then let us know how you submitted your fee. And then when we finish answering the question before yours, then we will call on you. You can either type your question into the chat or you can call in, clicking this link that I'm going to put up in a second and put your question right into the, just ask your question out loud. If you're a slow typist, please prepare your question in advance. You can just pop it on in there. If not, then calling in, especially if there's a lot of detail, you think I might have a question about what you're asking, then the best option is to do the live. You will only be only audio. And I ask that you guys watch your language so that this show is rated PG. No we have some polite euphemisms we use for words. Please use them and try to avoid, any kind of real risque stuff. That's probably better for What the Fuck Tuesday, where we just go buck wild. So nobody expects those shows to run ads, so we don't even worry about that. Oh, let's see what she says here. Let me see Grace's comment. Your first live. Oh, look at you. You're relatively new subby. I've been around for 3 months. Oh, big love from South Florida. Well, welcome. Thank you for introducing yourself. It helps to know, when people come back, then I see their name and then I, kind of can associate who they are and what's going on. And I see, oh, who's this super nifty MIDI person? That's the new name. I mean, not that I see them all anyway, but and Amina and Ash. Hey, you guys. So this is the link. If you decide you want to be brave and you want to, call in your question and ask it live on the air, that's the link that you just click it on your phone, or if you're using a computer headset, you can, do it that way. Speaking of which, let me prepare in advance and put my earbuds in so I can hear you when you call. What's up, Diamond? Carmel? Hey, everybody. A lot of these people are my usual and customary folks. They show up for just about every live stream. For those of you who are new. So let me get started with some of the people who sent their questions in advance so you can kind of get an idea of how this program goes. So just like these people, they were too shy and they sent theirs in advance. You can ask yours question or whatever. If no one has a question by the time I make it through these, eight questions, then the show will be over. Hold on, I dropped the paper. Clumsy me, clumsy. Okay. You guys ready? This is the first person who sent theirs in. They were in order of submission. This young lady is 26 years old. She says, I'm really starting to come to terms with the situationship that I've been in for 10 years, that it will never become a relationship or anything more serious. Wait a minute. It took you 10 years to figure that out? Okay. He seems fine with staying friends with benefits and going weeks or even months without seeing me. Whenever I try to bring it up that bothers me, he just starts arguing with me. So it was just easier to just go along with it. but I realize I do want something more serious. How can I talk to him and see if he's open to this, or should I just lose him for good? Okay. From my perspective, my dear, there's nothing to lose because you never had him, you never had a relationship. There was no commitment, nothing. So he'd be bopping off doing whatever he was doing with whoever he was doing it with, and you just sit there and waiting in the wings for him to come back and pick you again, take you off the little shelf that you put yourself on, and then pick up where he left off, using you for his fun times. I don't know why you hung around doing this for 10 years. I mean, I really want to just go smooth off on you, but I'm trying to just constrain myself. A, I'm tired, and B, I think you already know how stupid you are, so it would just be redundant. But there's nothing. You see, my thing is, if you wanted something serious, I'm not saying you can't have it. You can definitely have it, but you're not gonna have it with him. So once you wrap your mind around that and just go, just let that go, then you'll be all right. It reminds me of this conversation I had with my aunt one time. I was just a teenager, and she was probably, I don't know, in her mid 40s at the time, and she called herself giving me some advice. And she says, never get rid of your boat until your yacht comes in, right? So that means, like with you, this dude is a boat, and in the back of your mind, you waiting for this yacht to come in, just all rolling all big, large, and in charge, and sweep you off your feet and just make this create a really wonderful relationship that you have going on in your mind, this fantasy. So that was my auntie say, never get rid of your boat till your yacht comes in. And I sat there looking at, like I said, I was about 15 or so. And I remember sitting there thinking about that, trying to imagine what that looked like. And I said, but auntie, with the boat there, the yacht can't get to the port. It's in the way. And my uncle, my uncle was married to her. My uncle just fell out laughing and said, well, she got you there. And it was true. I mean, the yacht can sit there on the outside of the situation until it gets bored, I guess, but the yacht can't get to port because the boat is in the way. So, ladies, if you have a yacht, you want a yacht to come up to you, you want a yacht relationship, as long as you keep dealing with these boats, you ain't going to get one. Okay? Because the boats are in the way. Just like this guy, he's taking up her time, he's taking up her attention. She's investing emotions in him that she shouldn't be investing. So it's just a losing proposition if you want a relationship. If you just fine with this kind of stuff, then of course it's not hurting you and she wouldn't be writing. Yes. I just don't know what to say. I was like, what? Okay, I could see maybe 10 months of this, but 10 years? No. I cannot. So again, here's the link for those of you just arriving. If you have a question that you want to get answered live right here, right now on the show, that's the link that you click right there. Then you answer your question. And then you pay your $10. I guess that's Diamond's fee, huh, Diamond? Let me get you back up in here. What's up, chick?
Hi.
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 You have a question for me?
Yeah, I kind of going through anxiety right now. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've been hearing stories about women being unalive, and it's not just because they're in a relationship, but random men just unaliving them because they reject them. And it's kind of getting scary out here because you don't know who you're gonna run up on or who's going to start talking to you, and you just ignore them, or you tell them I'm not interested, and they just go off because they can't handle the rejection that I don't know, like, how would you handle it, like?
Well, I'll tell you. I thought of this the other day. I'm not saying that this is what you guys should do, but it's just something I thought of. Um, you know how deaf people that sometimes have like a little card that says "I am deaf." and you hold it, they hold it up. So if you're talking to them, they can try to read lips, but not everybody does, but they let you know that they can't hear what you're talking about. I thought that might be a good idea. Get some of those. So when the Dusties start trying to holler, you hold it up, right?
I don't
That's an
know.
that's an option. I'm not saying that it's like the only one, but you know, I, this is it's a very difficult situation. It's a very difficult question to give you like one singular answer to because
Yeah.
the situation is going to vary depending on the environment that you're in. If you're with someone or you're by yourself, with a couple of people by yourself. If he's with a couple of people or by himself, if you have an easy escape route or not. There's so many variables here. You kind of have to play it by ear, but there's no
Mhm.
one size fits all response to these kind of situations. But I would say let me think back to when I was young, but I don't know, dudes wasn't as crazy then as they are now. I'm old.
No.
So
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
society has changed a lot and men
Yeah.
have changed a lot and their behavior towards women has definitely changed a lot. And the sense of entitlement that they have is just
Mhm.
crazy to me. It wasn't like this when I was growing up, but still had guys, trying to holler and stuff and get forceful, like they want to like get menacing, not to the point where these guys do, these guys will actually attack you, but they would get menacing and scare you, like get up all in your face and tell you all what they would do, or, I could find out where you live. I had a guy tell me that,
Mm.
I could find out where you live. And I'm like, yeah, you could. It's not like a secret, you know what I mean? A mailman and everybody else knows. But you have to be prepared if you show up at my house acting a fool, unwanted and uninvited, then you have to be ready to suffer any and all repercussions of that decision. Because what he
Mhm.
didn't know is there'd be packing items like an arsenal up in
Mhm.
my house. So, like I said, it's going to be an individual thing. But if you consider all the options that you have, like the different situations you've been in or that you heard about, and think about, okay, how would I handle that? What would be the best approach to take if this particular set of circumstances presents itself? Because, like, if from my perspective, it's going to be different every time.
Yeah.
I cannot sit here and honestly, truthfully tell you, yeah, just always do this one thing right here. I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm only in my 30s, my mid 30s. So that, like when I was in my 20s, guys were not say unaliving women like that back then. They might, is like you said, they might get up in your face and act belligerent and all that stuff. But nowadays, they just want to unalive you for just rejecting them. It's like that Alabama football player that unalived this woman because she rejected his advances. And she left behind a 5-year old child. And I was like, this is happening more often when women are trying to leave the relationship and their significant other or their ex want to unalive them because how dare she leaves me.
Yeah,
I,
that's a long-standing problem. That's why
mhm,
they have these battered women shelters and um, the experts that kind of help you navigate those kinds of situations. Because they
mhm,
consistently, the battered women shelters people and police all say the most dangerous time for a woman is when she's trying to leave a relationship with an abuser. And a lot of guys don't see themselves as abusers, but they're controlling. They try to tell you what to do all the time, run your life, not let you do stuff, control who your friends are, how you dress, how you wear your hair, what time you have to be home, or if you can even leave home at all, if you can have a job, how much money you make. So the women get tired of that and then they want to leave. Well, those kind of men don't want you to leave. That's why they acted that way. They're terrified of being by themselves. They're both singularly terrified of abandonment, but then they do everything that they can do to destroy you and make you want to abandon them. It's the weirdest thing. Whereas if they treated you
right,
like they had some sense, the women wouldn't leave. So they bring
mhm,
about the very results that they're so afraid of and trying to control her for. But yeah, they always say that. So I would tell any woman if you're in a situation like that, a relationship that you want to leave, don't do anything until you consult with the police. They have these advocates that specialize in that kind of thing. If necessary, they
Mhm.
will move you to a safe house, possibly even in another state, to get you away from the abuser and the children that you may have as well. But I would caution any woman, if you see a situation like that, don't get belligerent. Just try to get yourself out of it as quickly as possible. It is always a good thing to know, a few self-defense moves and to have something, that you can spray, pepper spray, bear
Mhm.
spray, mace, taser, something, something to defend yourself.
Right.
I
Uh,
mean, that would make you, I
yeah,
think, feel a little bit more at ease, because if it starts getting stupid, you could just pop them in the face with some spray and then be on your way.
yeah. These guys are crazy nowadays. I have to go get pepper spray. I always put that in the back of ahead of my mind. I always said I need to get pepper spray, and I never do. I think I need to go to my nearest Walgreens to get pepper spray.
Well, and
Thank
yeah,
you,
I
Deb.
understand. Like in some states, you have to take some kind of little test, a course, or something before they issue it to you. But just look and
Yeah.
see what's required for where you are, and then get yourself a couple of
Hmm.
canisters of that and keep it
Yeah.
on you.
I
Keep it in
live in
your
the same.
car.
Yeah. I live in the same state as you. So
Oh, you're in Cali? Okay, yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that
Remember,
would be
I
that
lived in
would be a good thing. Girl,
yeah.
I can't remember. If you told me pre-stroke, I probably don't remember. I'm sorry.
That was okay.
I my
Yeah.
sister been struggling with the memory issue, but it's slowly coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. I don't
So I
like.
mean, hopefully that was helpful. I don't want you to be running
Yeah.
around. I don't want you to be afraid, but just
Yeah.
think about like some of the scenarios you've read about and different situations you've been in, and how you could have gotten yourself out of that safely, and just
Okay.
consider it. So then, when there's something like that presents itself, you'll automatically start doing what you thought. Your plan will start executing itself because you've already made one. You're not gonna wait till
Yeah.
you're in the situation to start thinking, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do?" You've already thought about it and you've already, mapped out a strategy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
Okay?
Aunt Deb.
Deep breaths,
Hmm.
girl. Deep breaths. Woosah.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye bye. Well, I hope that was helpful. Like it's just really hard. I mean, I was on the board of directors for a battered woman shelter, but it was supposed to be a 2-year term. Deb made about 6 months. That's all I could handle. But it's um, it's difficult to say with any authority because that's not my field of expertise. That's why I recommend that everyone reach out to those advocates that work with police and the battered women's shelter programs because they are specially trained and they have a psychologist and they know about these types of dudes and they can give you much more concrete strategies than I can. I'm trying to remember some of them, but it's best to go to the source. Okay, talk to me. Let's see what's going on here. I met a man in his 50s on Bumble. Oh no, you went on the swipey thing? He claims to be an executive in my field and hasn't given me much help besides a resume review. Is it wrong to stop talking to him? I lost my job. Um, how long ago did you meet dude? Can you share that info? I mean, what kind of time frame are we talking about here? Did you meet him last week? 2 days ago? 2 months ago? I mean, how much interaction have you had with this guy? That would be something important for me to know. But I'm going to say in general, a month ago. Okay. Hmm. Well, I'm going to say this. In any relationship, especially in a situation like that where you have something that you need help with and he ain't helping you, then what you wasting your time with him for? Especially he claiming that he's a high level person in your field. He ought to have context. He ought to be saying, let me send out your resume for you, because usually if people send it as a recommendation, someone, that they know and is given to them personally, you have a much better chance of getting an interview because he's like pre-vetted. If he hasn't even done that, then he just trying to run a scam and get some panties. Yeah, he's talking for a month. Mm-mm. He should have done something by now because everybody knows, as an adult, when your money is funny or you feel insecure because you running out of money because you don't have any really coming in, unemployment, but that's, what I mean, that runs out. And a person is desperate to find viable work and you are in a position to help that, facilitate that. I mean, not saying you got to guarantee them anything, but you could at least kind of help pave the way a little bit. And it's supposed to be somebody that you like, or at least, a friendly person, somebody you trying to get tonight, and you can't even send out a resume for him. Girl, I would not be wasting up my conversation. He's 52. Oh, he just gaming. He's gaming. Cut him loose. Mm-mm. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to offer you a job at his firm or anything like that. That would be a bit much. But like I said, if he's that and he's that old and he's at the executive level, he should have contacts in not only his firm but other branches or other firms altogether that business people that he works with that he could slide your resume to and ask them if they know of any openings. He could at least done that. If he hasn't even done that, but he's wasting up your time trying to get the draws, girl, he's not doing nothing sensible. Mhm. He claims to be a VP of what? Did you Google his name? I sure would be doing it because I want to know where he's a VP of. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't. Cause I mean, I'm just like, if you guys, if I was an executive, and you guys that I deal with sent me your resume and it looked good, I talked to you on the phone so I could kind of, you got to vet people. You just can't go by what's on paper. You have to vet them, ask a few questions and stuff. If you make my screening, I would happily, send your resume out to my contacts. I would do that. And you guys, we not trying to date none of you. So I'm saying if this is a guy that he's supposed to be trying to present himself to be a potential romantic partner, and he can't even come through with a resume forwarding, then I really caution you to invest too much time and emotion in this guy. It just sounds sus as hell. That's all I'm gonna say. It just sounds like game to me. Yeah, it just you couldn't find anything? Well, if he's an executive, that doesn't sound right either. That sounds like somebody running a scam that was probably in prison last week. Shut up, giggles. See, me and giggles, that's just what I was thinking. But in my company name was lionmf.com Inc. So yeah, okay, so now I'm right. Just, politely start moving on. Tell them, oh, it's been really nice talking to you, but I think I'm really not ready to date right now. I really feel like I need to refocus my energies on securing viable employment. But, thank you for the resume review. It was helpful. And yeah, I'm going to close my profile for a minute here and refocus my energy, which is really what you should do. I mean, I ain't your mama, but girlfriend, you dividing your focus but trying to catch up with some dusty butt and then getting yourself situated financially and professionally, you need to let that go for right now. Okay. You don't have no energy and time for that. Definitely no money to be spending dressing up and going, use up your gas and buying shoes and getting your hair done and stuff for that. Okay. That's not on your agenda right now. You put that aside, put that away until you get this other thing situated. You should be looking for a job 24/7. That's you in the shower or sleeping. Okay. That's what you need to be doing. Not really trying to deal with dusties. Yeah, these dudes, man, they be running so many different scams. It's not even funny. But the common denominator though is they find a woman who needs something, like a woman who needs love, a woman who needs help, financial help, or she needs a place to stay, or she needs some food, she needs something for her kids. In a foreign country, she needs to come to the U.S. or Europe or something because she needs to get out of poverty. She needs money to help support her family. They look for women who need something, and then they present themselves as the fairy godfather who's going to help you. And it's just game. It's just designed to get the panties. Even the ones who do actually come through, there's always strings attached. So it's just, that's, I'm just speaking from my vast and overwhelmingly old person life experience. They don't really do nothing just out of the kindness of their heart. They do it expecting to get something back, if they even come through at all. Because a lot of it is just, to get your hopes up and then to just yank your chain. So they don't really be coming through with nothing. Yeah, these dudes are dusty. Dust buckets. Okay, here's the link if you want to ask your question on the air, like Diamond did. There it is. Or you can do a Cash App or a Super Chat, $10, 10 US dollars. And then ask your question, and I will give you the answer, the best answer I can, right here on the spot. I've been doing this for 30 years. There's a lot of information in this big head. And then what I don't know, the listeners do. A lot of these people have been around here for years since I've been doing this show. They're mature ladies and gentlemen, and they have some good insight as well. So together, we got you. Uppity Negro, did you do a Cash App? Brilliant me forgot my phone. Forgot my phone. And I don't. It's in the other room. Dang it. Here's the link. Here's the link again. Sorry about that. Yes, Uppity, did you do a Cash App?
Sorry, I did not, but I will get you tomorrow. What is the minimum? 10?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have Cash App, but I will do it through PayPal.
Okay. Whatever.
Okay.
What's your question, girl?
No, I don't really have a question so much as a statement that I wanted to make. The other day, I don't know, I'm not going to even mention a name, but anyway, there was a guy the other day asking for women to be honest with men to help them help themselves in relationships, so they claim, right? So he stated that, like, he had an ex-girlfriend that was a little bit too direct for him. And basically, that was basically the demise of the relationship, that she was too direct. So, and basically, I asked him, like, well, did you say that in the beginning of the relationship or when it was mad day, So he basically went around and around to make excuses for himself. So he basically made it seem like, oh, I told her these are red flags for me. Like, that was his in answer. Like, oh, I told these are red flags to me. She kept doing it. But at the end of the day, if it was red flags for you, you wouldn't have pursued her, because his red flag was things she did in the beginning of the relationship, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't stop men, because
I
you
know
can have
that.
red flags waving, so it's like a Chinese parade. And you know what they're going to do? Tap it.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get through to them. Like, can we sit here and take accountability and not
Let's
blame
be
women?
real.
But the amount of women in the comments blaming me for not being sensitive enough to his feelings so he could receive the message was astounding for me. That's why I want you to be spread across the world, because I was like ready to hit the wall last night. Like, oh my God, like literally, like.
It's just like, especially a lot of women, I just hate to say it, a lot of women are silly, and they don't understand those kind of games that guys run like that. And they, those kind of statements where he's trying to present himself as the victim, and to get women all on his team and feeling sorry for him and trying to support him and blame the woman and do all this kind of stuff, and they just fall right into the trap. But the bottom line is, just like you just pointed out so brilliantly, if you saw red flags at the beginning and it was enough to make you dip out in the end, then you saw it at the beginning, what you stick around for? So that means you made a choice to deal with that and to get your feels hurt and to get all involved with her. So don't come here looking for our sympathy. You a grown man. You chose to do that. So shut up. Eat it.
Thank you. I guess after all of the amount of heartache I went through yesterday. I just want a little validation that I wasn't crazy. I wasn't. No, it was none of that. It feels good to be back in your chat, and I got you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, girl. Yes. No,
Bye
you were
bye.
you were you were right, and they were wrong. They
Thank
was
you.
wrong. Yeah, I hate it when I see people do that. And so many women fall for it. They just fall for the sob story. It's just so sad. Like even the dudes who married and want to cheat, right? The first thing out their mouth is, well, she just won't, you know, she's not the same. There's no romance in our marriage anymore. I feel so alone. And then the women, instead of thinking, well, if that's all true, then why are you staying? Why don't you get that thing they call a divorce? Why are you whining to me? But see, they never think like that. So the women instead just think, oh my God, he's suffering, the poor thing. I can save him. Let me swoop in with my cape and my S on my chest and become super side chick and just help him feel better because I can do that. Please. I'd be like, well, you still there. You must like it. So shut up. Shut up. That's one of my favorite things to say to men. Just shut up. Just shut your mouth. Shut your pie hole. Stop blabbing. Stop jaw jacking. Stop bumping your gums. Stop running your rubbery lips together. Just stuff like that. But anyway, whatever kind of fantabulous adjectives I use, the bottom line is just shut up. Just shut up and stop talking. Because nobody's trying to hear what you're talking about. Okay, so while y'all get yourselves together, let me post the link one more time. There it is. I'm going to read another one of the questions that was previously submitted. This one's from a young man, and he's 25 years old. He says, I matched with someone on a swipey thing, and we decided to meet at the end of the month. We've been talking for about a week and a half, and this past weekend, I didn't call or text on Saturday or Sunday, but I did call on Monday. Now, all of a sudden, she won't respond or text or answer the phone. Her last text was on Friday, simply saying, enjoy your football weekend. So 2 days, is that all it takes for a woman to lose interest? Well, I'm going to say this, sir. Why would you wait till the end of the month to meet if you've been talking to somebody for a week and a half? And why would you disappear for a whole weekend when you're trying to get something off the ground? Let me just to tell you how this would look from some insecure girl's perspective. I wouldn't give a damn, but whatever. Obviously she's not me, and so she's impacted by this. They're going to think that you met someone else and that you're out with them. And so any interest that she was starting to develop for you, she's going to feel slightly betrayed and deceived. And like you were just gaming and you weren't really serious about meeting her anyway. And so why bother even dealing with you? So she's hurt. And so she's not responding. Now, is her hurt logical? Does it make sense? Is it sane? Absolutely not. She hasn't even met you yet, but she's already, trying to feel like possessive and jealous well, I don't know, whatever she's feeling. But to me, it's inappropriate with considering the length of time that you've been interacting with her and the level of the relationship that you two have. Neither of you are committed to the other. So there's really no reason for her to be flipping out about you not contacting her, some random dude, which is all you are, for 2 or 3 days while he hangs out with his buddies or family or whatever. But like I said, that's not most young women. Most young women feel like if you've been talking to them, a lot, that is headed towards boyfriend land. And then if you just dip out and disappear like that drop off the map for 2 or 3 days, she can't reach you, you ain't calling her, then she's going to think that it was just a fantasy and that you were just playing games and that you out with somebody else. So that's what happened here. Okay. But the answer to your question is 2 days all it takes? Yes. Because you haven't really established that level of trust yet. Sorry. So if you're interested in a young lady, do 2 things. 1, try to meet her as soon as possible. Don't wait. Don't be waiting through 3, 4 weeks. And then if you're going to get into the pattern of texting and calling her frequently, whatever pattern you set up, every other day, once a day, twice a day, 2 day, every other day, whatever you set up, keep it. Keep that schedule, okay? Because that's what she's used to. And the second you deviate from the schedule, it's going to cause a problem. Unless you deviate in the other way, like more contact. But if you drop off, it's going to create problems in the relationship. she's not going to trust you anymore. She's going to start being suspicious. Oh, these guys. But he's only 25, and it's the kind of thing like if they didn't have an older man around them to tell them this kind of stuff, they don't get it. They don't understand. At least, though, I have to give him credit. He had enough sense to write to get the information that he needed so he could understand it. So this one mistake that he made now, this one at 25, he'll never do that again. So, I can't really blame them when they seek information and knowledge and try to become better at dating and better at relationships. So he did what he's supposed to do, is ask. The ones who think they know every damn thing and never ask and just continue to be stupid, destroying one relationship after another, and blaming the women, are the ones that I have a problem with. But I hope I explained it clearly to him that what he did was shouldn't have done that, and it's just a problem here. So let's move on. Nobody got a question? Okay. Let me put it in again. This is the link that you click if you want to ask your question. It's $10 by Cash App to Debsterism, or it's on the show description page, but let me just show you again. It's $10 on Cash App. See Debsterism there at the bottom. Or you can make it in the YouTube Super Chat and just type your question in with your Super Chat block, and then I will see it and respond to it right here, right now. So let's move on to the this looks a little long. Question number 3 here from somebody who was too shy to do their show, their question on the air. She's 23, and she says, me and my ex broke up after almost a year. We didn't speak for weeks, and during that time, I got close to a friend of mine and slept with him. It was sort of a spur of the moment thing, nothing serious at all, at least for me. Recently, my ex confronted me, and we've not stopped talking since then. The only thing is, he asked if I had kissed and slept with this particular guy, and I lied and said no, thinking it would save everyone from getting hurt. This was an official breakup, Deb. We are not on a break or whatever, but due to the fact that me and my ex are now speaking more and more every day, I'm thinking there may be some slim chance that maybe could bump back up since now it has been a whole month. Should I tell my ex what really happened between me and this other guy? I am single, but I just feel guilty. It still feels like we're together, and even though I didn't cheat, it feels like I have. But on the other hand, I know he'll hate me if I tell him what really happened when we weren't talking. I'm going to say this. When you are a single woman, what you do, where you do it, who you do it with, how many times you do it. Whether you jump on a plane to do it, a plane, a boat, on land or by sea. That's your business and no one else's. Now, the problem with you is when you guys broke up, you were supposed to block your ex. You didn't do that. So now he's back in your world, just putting his nose in stuff that doesn't concern him. And that's what you were supposed to tell him. Did you kiss or, do anything with this other guy? You're supposed to ask him why. Would you need to know that? Am I asking you what you did with other women? What we did with other people is not now and never will be each other's business. I'm not going to ask you, and I don't want you asking me because we were broken up. So we were both single. So, it's messed up to kiss and tell, don't you think? Now, is that giving him an answer? No. Is that telling him that's not his business? Absolutely. Is it telling him that you agree, you don't think what he did is any of your business either? Absolutely. And that's all you were supposed to say. You weren't supposed to lie. Neither did you need to tell him the truth. You just tell him that it's none of his concern what you did and who you did it with and when and how many times or anything else. None of that matters. Now, how you are manipulating yourself around to feel guilty about this is some amazing stuff to me. My thing is, if you're a grown woman and you do some stuff, anything that you do, anything, it could be something like this. It could be cheating. It could be, I don't know, criminal behavior. Whatever it is that you did as an adult, you made a conscious decision to do it. So own it. Stop hiding from it and running like a big baby. Okay, there's no reason to feel guilty. You didn't cheat on nobody. Okay, so what you doing? You messing your own life up. But I'm telling you, if you are sick of dude and you do want to get rid of him, then just tell him that. Just open your big mouth and tell him something that don't have nothing to do with him. Do that. Do it. So you can see how stupid you were on the back end of that. Whatever you do as a grown woman, nobody should know about it but you and the dude you did it with. Okay, if it was some crook shit, then the crook person that you did it with. You're the only people that need to know that. You don't go around blabbing what you did in the past around people that's it's none of their concern. Ooh, Lord, these women and this feeling guilty stuff. What the heck is that? I never feel guilty about anything. Even if I hurt somebody's feelings, I still don't feel guilty about it because I know I did it 99% of the time I did it on purpose. I want your feelings to be hurt. So why would I turn around and feel sorry for you and apologize and feel guilty? I'm not going to do that. I might be mad that you weren't more hurt or something, but I'm not going to apologize for what I did. Shay, I'm not going to do that. Especially something like we broke up. Oh boy, I'm about to be a complete fool. The one in the dictionary. That's going to be me. And will you ever hear me talk about it? Absolutely not. Brad, if you want to talk about all this stuff, pay your $10 and talk about it. You all off on some other stuff. Yeah, see. Don't worry about what he's talking about. He be on the wall talking all that crap. Yeah. It's just crazy. Yeah, this is you doing the most. So that's question number 3. How many did I say I had? I think 8. So we've had 2 callers thus far. 2 callers for tonight, which is kind of slow, but let's just do what we do. Yeah, just try to get all kind of responses and stuff on the free tip. Stop being cheap. Pay that $10. Yes, Brad, this is a conversation that we're supposed to be having about the issues that people present, not your topic of interest, okay? But if you have a question, then you pay your little $10 and then you ask it just like everybody else did, okay? Yes, thank you, amazing. Let's move on to this 4th question of 8. I have a best friend who just gave birth. The dad is not in the picture. I'm 30 and she's 25. She works in early childhood care, so knows what she's in for in terms of the basics. She's got family about an hour away, but she's living in an apartment 25 minutes away from me by herself. I don't have any children yet, so I'm clueless. I made her a baby blanket and my partner was going to make some biscotti to bring over. I'm really worried about her having to do everything alone, even though she's totally capable. How do I be the best friend to her right now? You mind your business. See, this is the thing, by you saying that, that you need to provide her support, how do you know she needs your support? She might not need nothing from you. I mean, the gifts are nice. Everybody appreciates that, especially something that's handmade. It's like, a treasure. But, your general approach is that she's lacking in some way and you're going to fill in the gap. That's the way that you make this sound. She gave birth to a baby, again, this is what I'm saying. She's 25 years old. She made a decision to do that because she could have plan B'd it. She could have clinicked it. She could have used proper BC so this didn't happen in the first place. She could have chose a man who wasn't a dust monger to have a child with and been properly married first. And all. I mean, there are a lot of things she could have done differently, but she opted for this. And so that means she made a decision. So don't waste your time feeling sorry for her and thinking about, what her struggles and stuff. She chose these struggles. That's what happens when people are, of an advanced age and decide to get pregnant and have a baby. Because just because you get pregnant, that don't mean you got to have a baby. Okay, two completely different things. But she opted to do that and knowing that she was going to be doing it all alone. So there's really nothing for you to do here. I mean, if she asks you if can you babysit while she goes for a job interview or something like that and you're capable of doing it, then do that. If you go visit her and you want to bring a box of diapers or something, then do that. If you want to get her and the baby and go out for lunch or something just to get her, get her a relaxed evening out of y'all, go get a mani petty and your husband, your partner or whatever, watch the baby for an hour or two while y'all go, then do that. But don't think that she don't have herself together and she doesn't know what she's doing and that she needs you to save her. So you just cool your jets, sit down and wait for her to see if she needs something and then you respond accordingly. If you can help her, then do it. If you can't, then don't. Don't worry about it. I don't know how she's gonna make any money with working in early childhood though. Ooh, honey. Well, maybe she can get the daycare free since she works there. That might save her. Hmm. That might save her. Yeah, mosquito bites are free too. I hate them little critters. Okay, let's move on to question number 5. This is a young man that's 21. Hey, I'll get you in a minute. I have a friend and we got along really well as friends. I asked her on a date a year or so ago and it went okay, but we never really spoke about pursuing anything relationship wise and we just carried on as friends. My friend is amazing though, and I just want to kiss her or be romantically involved. She's never really indicated that she would pursue anything with me, but we do spend a lot of time together every day, basically. How would you feel as a woman if a guy like this out of the blue asked to kiss you? I'm 21 and she's 23. She doesn't have a boyfriend. Hmm. So you went out and it went okay, but nothing ever really, jumped off as far as relationship. And you always just kind of hang out buddies and you want to kiss her. And she never indicated that she would pursue anything with you, but you spend time together. Okay, so why do you have to just go right to kissing? Can't you do something intermediate, hugging, a warm embrace, see how she tolerates that if she pushes you away or gets stiff and uncomfortable? Or can't you reach out and hold her hand maybe? Something that's more low key, gentle, and displays affection. Why do you have to just go right for a lip lock and make it something more, that physical? Why do you have to do that? Because you want to kiss her does not mean that she's going to be welcoming all that, sir. You know, it's not, it doesn't mean that. So everybody know that this is the $10 advice show tonight. There's no free advice questions. This show is for people who don't want to take the chance of getting their question chosen by Candace for What the Fuck Tuesday. I just noticed I forgot to change the banner up there. That didn't get, they don't want to take that chance because she does not pick every question. But if you definitely know something's going on and maybe something you're ready to go down this weekend and you're not real clear on what path to take, you don't want to mess something up or you're wondering if you already messed it up, you just want, bounce it off of me. This is the night to do it. It's $10 and I will give you an answer right now. As I have somebody on the phone, Funkla, but I don't see where you paid the $10. So I'm not going to take your call until you do. This is not optional. Okay. It's $10 on Cash App or $10 on YouTube. What is this thing called? YouTube. I forgot what the mess is called now. So anyway, let's move on. So that was kind of interesting. There's another young man. This guy is 33. He says, I absolutely love everything about my girlfriend, and we both want to move in together. But Deb, she lives in a luxury high-rise condo downtown with a mortgage that I simply cannot afford. She's a successful attorney and makes 3 times my salary. I agree and understand that splitting the mortgage is only fair, but I can't afford $2,300 a month rent payments to live with her. The most I could afford is around $1,600 on the high end. I feel embarrassed and insecure about this and don't know how to tell her that I can't afford to live with her. What should I do? You should not be paying her, helping pay her mortgage. You could do other stuff, buy some food, pay the cable, light bill, or water bill, whatever. But one thing you should not do is help her pay her mortgage. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, you got to live somewhere. You can't be living nowhere for free. Well, that might be true. But and whether it's the man or the woman, I don't care which one, nobody should help you pay your mortgage unless she's going to put your name on it, right? Then you could pay half. But if that's not going to be the case and she's just going to be, coming up on your dime, paying less mortgage when she already makes 3 times as much as you, that makes no sense to me. Okay? So don't do that. Don't do it. Oh, Super Chat, thank you. Yeah, my mind went blank. I was like, I just could not think of what it was called. So it's $10 on the Super Chat through YouTube, or $10 on Cash App, or $10 through PayPal on Debsterism, on the Cash App, and survivingdating@gmail.com if you want to use PayPal. Other than that, you can just do it right here in the YouTube platform. It's called a Super Chat. Super Chat. Okay. So there you go. Yeah, don't be helping nobody pay their mortgage. Don't do that. Unless you're going to be a part owner. Then you do it. If otherwise, no. But that means she's paying $2,300 would be half. So that means this thing is $4,600 a month. Well, I guess if you make it $250,000, that's no big deal. But that just seemed like a waste of money to me. Female, age 20. This is question number 7. We only have 8. So those of you who have a question, it's time to ask it now. Yes. Yes, I did drop a bomb or two, didn't I? I'm looking. Yeah, okay. I don't see anybody's question, so I just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay, this is a young lady, I'm sorry. She's 20 years old, and she says, I've been friends with a guy who's 23 for about a year. Last night, he handed me his phone and told me to turn it on. It was a picture of me as his screensaver. Oh. Sorry, I dropped it again. I just dropping everything tonight. I feel pretty lost since some girl says it's creepy and others think it's cute. What are your thoughts, Deb? I don't know what to think. Since 2 days ago, he said, I got to stop letting these emotions get to me since you're my friend. So you've known him about a year, and he suddenly started making all these random comments. Well, do you like him? Is it something you could see yourself pursuing as a quote relationship? If not, then you need to shut it down. Say, look, let's not mix apples and kumquats here. We're just friends, platonic friends, just like I would be with another woman. I have no romantic interest in you whatsoever. There will never be anything jumping off like that between us. You know what I mean? Just be very definitive and clear with them and let them know it's not going to happen. Okay. But if you are interested and you do think there's something there and there's some little spark that you want to nurture or whatever, then you look, say, well, you put me as your screensaver. Should I be putting you as mine? Just flirt back. And then he'll be like, oh, yes, wouldn't that be great? That happened to you? Yeah, see, no. She might be New York City. He didn't say, he just said some luxury high rise. But we have some stuff like that that's pricey like that right here in California too, in LA and here in the Bay Area. Yeah, but they've been dealing with each other for a year though. So, it could be because, a lot of dudes will just slide into the friend zone because you make it clear that you're not really interested in them like that. And they just hope for an end. So they do all these little things to let you know that they're interested. But, women who's not interested usually ignore it. They know, but they just act like they don't because it's more convenient. They can still maintain a friendship. Or they, or it's game. But usually the game part comes in way before you've been dealing with the dude for a year, as a quote friend. It usually comes a little earlier. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I'm just saying usually since most men are not that good at hiding, playing the long game, they let you know the game is out and exposed way before a year in time. So I'm kind of thinking he did the option where he knew the only way he could be around her was to be a friend, but he's wanted to let her know he's still interested, and that's how he chose to do it. That's what I'm thinking. It's passive. It's not like he has to say, well, I asked you out a year ago and, you said no. So, but what about now? It's not that where he's going to be that, emotionally exposed and rejected and so hardcore and stuff like that. It's the soft way to let her know that he's interested. Whereas if she, again, can pretend like she don't know what's happening to ease out of the situation. That's what most women do when they don't want to be, confront the dude. But, that's what they do, though. They be so scared of rejection. Poor little things. And I'm still trying to wait to see the dude who dried up and blew away when he got rejected. And just like, ended up in a graveyard or something because he got rejected. I just don't understand their fear. It just makes no sense to me. It's like, if I was a dude and I had a fear of rejection, you know what I would do? I would just go talk to random women every day and get rejected 100 times a day till I toughened up because I would just feel like a wuss hanging back in fear, breathing all hard and not sleeping and not getting what I want, the kind of relationship that I want because I'm too scared to approach women and I think that everybody's not going to like me anyway. So why do it? They're going to reject me and I don't want to be rejected. I'll feel stupid. That's just feel stupid. Just feel stupid. Let yourself see what feeling stupid looks like. Look at your hands, look in the mirror, notice that nothing has changed. You're still breathing. All your money's still in your bank account. You still have your car, job, apartment, all your friends, your family, everybody's still the same, even though you got rejected in that 13.5-second moment. You're still living. And so I never understood what that big fear is, why they just hang back like that and base everything on a woman saying no. They just lose their minds. It's just the most interesting thing. So that if I was a dude, that's what I would do. If I was a scary type, I would just what they call it, aversion therapy myself with as much rejection as I could get. Just just drown myself in it until I got toughened up and realized that nothing changes in my life because a woman didn't want me. Some stranger didn't want me. And we're not talking about somebody that you've been with for years and years. We're talking about a complete stranger that you wanted to dance with or talk to or get a number, and she wasn't interested, and you just want to crumble to the earth like it's the last days or something. I mean, it's hard to find men, to feel that men are courageous and brave and stuff when they can't even take a little rejection. Okay, this is my last question. So y'all don't have nothing else for me after I answer this, then that will be the end of the show. Because we'll be back Tuesday though, with the longer show. Okay, so this young lady, let me post the link in here one more time for those of you who are interested. Remember, you pay the $10 on Cash App or YouTube Super Chat or PayPal. I guess you could do that too. And then you type your question in here or click the link that I just pasted here just now, and you will be able to ask your question, vocal form. Okay, question number 8 is a young lady who's 22 years old, and she says, I went on 2 dates with a guy, and we hooked up on the second one. He told me that he's just going with the flow, but he's still texting me. Is he breadcrumbing me if he engages in conversation and then disappears for 24 hours and then replies back like nothing happened. I thought he was busy the first time he did it, but now it's just a constant thing for him to reply quickly a few times at first and then disappear. Should I ignore him or move on? I mean, if you like, interacting with him, I mean, why not? I mean, it's not, you had 2 dates and then you hooked up. Why'd you do that? Why did you hook up with somebody that you weren't in a committed relationship with? 2 days is not enough to know what a man's character is and what he's all about and what his goals and dreams are and how you might be involved in that. So you put the cart before the horse. And so, of course, you started having expectations of more that were inappropriate under the circumstance. And then now you're writing, trying to figure out if he's breadcrumbing you. You breadcrumbed yourself, chick. You should have kept them panties on. That's what you should have done until you found out what this dude was all about and what he was looking for. And if what he was looking for fit in with your vision of what you wanted for yourself, then you dropped the draws. But see, you did shit backwards. You didn't do it right. Right? You didn't do it right. And so now you're sitting there wondering, why he doesn't respond to you and call you back and stuff. It's like he didn't really have to do too much before he got you. He didn't really invest anything. You don't even really know this man. And yet he can run around and tell everybody that he, got busy with you. It's not something I would do, but y'all as young people operate differently than me. And like I always say, I'm not one to tell you what to do, but what I do try to do is point out that when you do certain activities or certain handle stuff a certain way, there are certain repercussions associated with that behavior. And in this case, like you seem to have some kind of, you're looking for something emotional from this guy, some level of commitment so he doesn't disappear for a couple of days or whatever. You want more consistency and he's not providing it, and he's not going to provide it because he already got everything. So see, you was balling backwards. You shouldn't have done that. Oh, amazing. You got another question? How do you feel about childless women dating single fathers? Oh. Ooh, it depends. Again, not one answer. It's going to depend on the age of you and him. It's going to depend on if you want to have children or if you're just happy raising his. It depends on how well behaved the children are. It depends on if there's some baby mama drama or is the mother like deceased or something and totally not in the picture and he's raising the child 100% by himself with no other interference in it in child discipline or visitation or anything except maybe his parent. So I would say it would depend on all of those things. But, I think like I've met some men that have some, children very well behaved. They're smart, well mannered. He did a good job raising them. And so to be around those kids was easy. But, you got them disobedient hell raisers that don't listen and just always in trouble at school and stuff like that. Or he got baby mama drama up the yin yang, 2 or 3 kids by 2 or 3 different women. So you got to deal with all them different personalities. I cannot recommend that anybody do that. So, it's like I said, so I just gave you some examples. Those are some of the situations under which it might be okay. But then again, it might not. So that's going to depend on you. Oh, oops. Sorry, that's the one I already did. Yes. She say I was not going to tell you what to do, but I will tell you my opinion. Oh, okay. That works too. Yeah, I mean, his kids, but even if the kids are grown, that still might not mean anything if he didn't raise them well, because I've seen some fathers with, adult children that are like codependent. he still pays still pays like their car note or car insurance, and everybody will pay all the kids' cell phone bills and all this kind of stuff. And they kids well into their 30s, way older, and don't need to be babysat like that. But their father still feels, some sense of obligation to them or something. I don't know what that's all about. But my concern is when you have that, or they flip flop around the house and they ain't working, and the dad supporting them and all this kind of stuff. When I see some stuff like that, see, our ideas of parenting are so vastly different. I know that that would not work because he's the kind that would like to support adults and take care of them and all that stuff. And I'm the kind where adults need to be kicking it themselves. Don't ask me for nothing. Make it happen. Figure out a way to make it happen on your own, because that's what adults do. So, yeah, I could, especially if he got sons and the sons aren't working and sitting around the house, not going to school, sitting around and he taking care of everybody. No, no, no. I didn't let my daughter do that. I mean, it look like two or three grown men sitting around the house like that, and the father taking care of a mom. No, nope, 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 nope. Not doing it. So is that it? That's it for our questions tonight. Nobody got any other question? We do this once a month. Usually it's on the third Thursday of the month, but I had to move it to the third Friday because I had something to do last night. But it's look forward to it. Look on the channel wall for the upcoming shows, and then you can click it and set yourself a reminder. Also, if you are not already a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscription button and the instant notification bell so you can keep up with what's going on in this very interesting channel. We talk a lot about relationships, but a lot about, not just relationships with other people, but your relationship with yourself. You're developing your confidence, your self-esteem, learning how to control your emotions, how to develop yourself to be the best version of yourself that you can be. So all of these kind of things, checking your you're checking your temper, checking out people's games and not following for them, all kinds of things that would make you unhappy. We try to raise those points up and educate you about these types of games out here in the singles world so you don't fall prey to them. I've spent 30 years doing that. Okay. There's like more than 1,500 videos on this channel. You go to the top of the channel, type in the search string that you're looking for. They work better than just one word. But I mean, you can do the one word too. And then all the videos with that topic or in the title or in the, somewhere in the description, whatever, is going to pop up. And then you can just start, create your own playlist and start listening. Be sure to keep notes. I highly recommend that you have a notebook for this channel. And as you learn things that you think will be valuable to you in the future, that you write them down. Keep them in one place. So you always have, all your Debsterism info in one place that you can grab it. Also, just to remind people, because I saw someone asking about it in the chat from the other night, we will not be doing February in 2023. I'm still in recovery from my awfulness that happened in March of 2022. I'm better. I can do live streams, but there's no way in this world I have the stamina to do the dead video a day. I'm not even going to try because that would be stupid. I would crash and burn probably halfway through. But I do have a couple of people that are interested in being guests, so I'll let you know when those are scheduled. So again, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscription button so that you don't miss it, okay? And then we'll hopefully, I'll be better and I can get myself together so that we do February in 2024 and get back on track, okay? That will be our 6th year of it. All right. So you guys have an enjoyable weekend. I'm going to go and have brunch with some friends tomorrow. I buy this restaurant with a fire pit and stuff. They said it's really good. So I'm going to take pictures so I can show you guys. So I'll talk to you all later. Bye.